Welcome to the city. This is Anthony Wilson, the Public Information Officer for the City of San Angelo. And joining us today is Andrew Garcia, who is the coordinator of our Nature Center. Andrew, thanks for being with us, but I think you dropped something on the way in.
Yeah, I came in with an empty case and I thought I left him at the Nature Center, but it looks like you found him.
And tell us what we actually have here. I'm going to let you get him before he pulls a Mike Tyson on my ear there. How?
Yeah, he's got sharp claws to hold on.
So tell us what you have there.
This is a veiled chameleon. These are found at your local pet stores, but they occur naturally in the Middle East. So they're used to the dry desert, and these guys actually hang out in the desert sands also. As you can see, their hands are made for climbing tree branches, so it splits up in between, so he can grab twigs with ease. And he uses his tail to hold on to things as well.
Now this is Rango, right?
Yes, this is Rango.
Like the movie character.
Yeah.
And this is a new acquisition at the Nature Center.
Yeah, he was donated to us about 3 or 4 months ago, and we gave him a home in our international room.
And anytime you get a new acquisition like this, I assume that you have to spend a little bit of time researching it so you'll know how to adequately care for an animal like this.
That's correct. We encourage the best care that we can for all of our animals, and my animal caretakers also, they do research on enrichment activities so that the animals will maintain their native behaviors, their natural behaviors, and not be accustomed to being fed, so commonly, like in a bowl or something.
So one last question about the chameleon. Chameleons obviously can change colors, but we wouldn't expect to show up at the Nature Center one day and see Rango like a bright blue or a red, would we?
That's correct. No, you wouldn't. If he was a little aggravated, he'd get a lot darker than this, and his little green spots will be surrounded by black rings. So he changes the shade of his colors, but not to a different color. It's just darker.
So I'll give you just 1 second to put him back down in his container. You joined the Nature Center, obviously, in November as the coordinator of that facility. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you came to be interested in animals.
Sure. I'm from Del Rio. My parents were in the military, and we grew up as military brats. So we bounced around every couple of years, and we were involved in scouting when we were younger. I say we. I have a twin brother named Adrian, and we did everything together. We're still pretty close, but we didn't have many. A lot of people have friends, long time best friends and stuff, and since we bounced around so much, we only had each other and the place that we moved to. So we spent most of our time outdoors. We were in the Boy Scouts, and we did our Eagle Scout, in high school, and we did summer camps and stuff during the summertime. So I just enjoyed outdoors and animals my whole life.
Now, the Nature Center, for people who have not been there, it is at 7409 Knickerbocker Road, right on the banks of Lake Nasworthy. Tell us what the Nature Center is and does.
Well, the Nature Center is a facility that was established in 1987 by the Junior League of San Angelo. The facility was meant to educate school children and local people and visitors of the animals and the environment and the plants, everything in the Concho Valley. So we have a collection of living animals. We have a plant collection outside, and we have rocks, minerals, fossils, shells, anything that is historically found out here in the Concho Valley. And we also recently have this international room that houses animals from around the world.
Now, if people want to visit the Nature Center, what are your hours of operation and what is the admission?
The hours of operation are noon to 5, Tuesday through Saturday, and the admission is only $3 for adults 13 and up, and $2 for kids ages 4 to 12. I'm sorry, and kids 3 and under are free. So and then we noon to 5 Tuesday through Saturday. We have to close sometime to feed the animals and maintain the exhibit. So normally we don't do anything on Monday, but if you wanted to have a birthday party out here, we do that Tuesday through Sunday as well.
And you have lots of different programming. You host birthday parties. You have memberships. All that information can be found on the city's website at cosatx.us/Nature Center. So if people want to go and learn more about the Nature Center, that's a good place to do that. Since becoming the coordinator, you have sort of rearranged how the Nature Center is arranged. So talk a little bit about what you've done and some changes that you've instituted at the Nature Center.
Yeah, I'm really excited about these changes, and I've had a lot of positive feedback about it from our loyal visitors and members. We have different, we moved the international room from the snake room is now the international room, and we have animals from around the world in there. We pulled the snakes out from our local areas out and put them in the main room, which is now our Concho Valley Natives room. And inside the Concho Valley Natives room, we have prairie dogs and skunks, and they're decented though, so they won't stink up the place. But we have lizards, snakes, everything that, not everything, but we hope to have a lot more, but stuff native, so that when schools come out here, they can see what's they can learn about their native stuff. And especially for the military families, if if they move from another state far away from Texas, it's a great place to go so they can familiarize themselves with their new surroundings.
So do you have any sort of immediate plans for more changes at the Nature Center or different programming that you'd like to institute?
I sure do. I have a lot of big plans that I still want to implement, but given the limited space, I can't do it all. But I'm looking forward to doing a walking trail inside the facility, within the gate, the back gate of the facility. We have a nature trail off of Spillway Road past the airport, but we want to spruce that up and maybe incorporate it into more of our programs. And then we have, I'd like to do a wild seed or even a hummingbird butterfly garden, or the wild seeds native to Texas, so that we can kind of display what the flowers that Texas has to offer in there. A lot of them are very beautiful.
The Nature Center is part of the city's capital improvement plan, and so there is a long-range vision for that facility. Talk a little bit about what that is.
Well, I haven't been that involved in that plan, but I hear that we will get a facility bigger to allow more visitors and to accommodate more of the we use a lot of power out there to put lights and heaters and stuff for these animals. So we needed a better facility to accommodate all the power usage that we've been using, and of course, the bigger, the more space we have, the more exhibits we can fit in there. And I have a lot of cool ideas that I've yet to do, like a Native American exhibit with spear tips and arrowheads and pottery and stuff found out here.
Of course, we're approaching summertime, and parents are always looking for things to do for their kids during their summer vacation. What is some of the programming that you'll be offering this summer at the Nature Center?
We will offer week-long summer camps. There'll be day camps, so only in the mornings from about 8 to 12, and it's going to be 2 per month. So we're going to do grades kindergarten through 2nd grade, the second to the last week of June and July, and then grades 3rd to 6th, the last week of each month. And that'll help, and there's learning experiences. Even though school's out, we have tons of programs and they're going to be different too, so that kids can learn about nature and the animals that are in this area. We plan to make both months totally different, so that parents can involve their kids in both months and get the full spectrum of what the activities and information that we can provide out there.
Now, I asked you to bring a couple of exhibits with you, Rango being one of them, and he's actually crawled back up into your lap.
Yeah, he wants to get high.
But if you want to set him down, I'd like you to show the folks this other exhibit that you have, because you have a reputation of knowing quite a bit about insects.
Right. This is a collection of butterflies, just butterflies and moths that are found in this area. And at the Nature Center, we have a collection that is on loan to us by Angelo State University. So we have a beautiful 12-case collection that shows butterflies, moths, beetles, flies, bees, all kinds of critters that are found out here. And it's good to know what's out here, so that you can be amused by or entertained by all the different color and beautiful animals that we have out there, and B, you learn about what's out here and what's dangerous and what's not. You'll be surprised how many insects are not dangerous at all to us. So we just, we can leave them or watch them on flowers without worrying about knocking them away because they're going to bite you.
And of course, in addition to these sort of exhibits, you have lots of live insects and what you call creepy crawlies out there that you allow people to handle so that they learn a little bit more with a hands-on experience.
Yeah, we have, in addition to these insects, we have millipedes and we have tarantulas. We have a ton of different spiders from, some of them from Texas and some of them from Central America. So we have a lot of colorful little creepy crawlies that kids love the spiders, and we get to show, we have a centipede that is very venomous to us, so we get to inform, public, this is not a millipede, don't touch this thing because it'll definitely, put a hurt on you.
Yeah. What's the thing that you've enjoyed most about your job as the Nature Center coordinator to date?
Well, I love interacting with the public and debunking some of their misconceptions that people pass down at generations. So I like to tell people, don't worry about this guy. He's not gonna hurt you. And if he does bite you, wash it with soap and water. There's no need to go to the emergency room. So I like to inform people that it's okay. If something bites you, or if you run into a snake or something, you don't have to kill it. Just enjoy it inhabiting the same space as you do, because they know that we're not there to hurt him.
We've been talking with Andrew Garcia. He is the coordinator of our Nature Center. And again, you can learn more about the Nature Center at cosatx.us/Nature Center. And we'll return with another guest in just one moment. But first, we're going to spotlight another outstanding city employee.
Light equipment operator is basically one step forward to become heavy equipment. When you start for the city, there's maintenance, light, and heavy. Heavy equipment's at the top, light equipment's in the middle. Light equipment, you work with the machinery, the smaller machineries like backhoes, the small front-end loaders, and so on, small dump trucks, and you get to move them around and stuff, and you learn your way like that. That's what a light equipment operator does. Some of the equipment I've operated are the front-end loaders that I personally enjoy. The two old ones here, the New Holland and the 914 Caterpillar. They're the very big machineries, and I started here. I was about 18. About my third day here, I asked one guy named Joe Gomez. I said, I would like to do what you do, but on the old one. And he gave me the chance. He said, I'm gonna give you the chance. He let me on there. I worked it and I wasn't too good, but over time I've gotten better. And just recently I've started to learn how to work a backhoe. And that's a really difficult machine to learn how to use. And it's a work in progress. I like the power it gives you. It lets you know that you're in control of this big machine. It's almost like riding a bull somewhat if you're not fully controlled. You're the one that's putting 6-10 tons in the truck, and you're the one that lets the guy know, I'm not gonna put no more, and this is what you're gonna carry down the road. And you're the one that's making things happen. You're the one that's like the quarterback of your crew right there when you're in the front end loader. I was just a regular kid. I just got out of military school. I had my GED. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do with my life, and my mom said, well, why don't you come try out for the city, just try your luck there and see if you like it. So I tried, and I got here. I didn't like it at first. I was a young kid in a grown man's world, learning the tricks. And a few months after, I started getting the hang of it, and I started liking it more and more every day. I take pride in what I do, because not a lot of people my age know what to do that I know how. I felt very good. It just let me know that these guys see that I'm trying, that I'm making an effort to learn. And that's just my #1 goal. Every day, learn something new, even if it's from different guys from stormwater, supervisors, or even myself, or about the equipment. That's just my goal, and I felt really excited. Projects I worked on, I'm on the right-of-way crew. I clear alleys, stop signs, anything that's in people's way. When tree branches fall, they call us out there. Projects I do, well, we just basically move whatever's there. We basically move mountains of dirt around, we cleared out trees and stuff like that. I love what I do. I love working with my crew, because every day I learn something. My measure of success from here, from a 1 to 10, I would definitely give it about an 8 or 9, because I've learned a lot and I've been very successful here for the city. I've moved up faster than what I really should have to me, but these guys say I'm working every day and I'm learning and I'm trying, and so I think I have a pretty good success here. Working in street and bridge as a light equipment operator, what will surprise you is that the amount of knowledge that you can learn, because you think you'll just come here and really do nothing. they'll put you on a machine or they'll put you on a truck your first, second day that you're here, because they want you to get this experience. So you can always leave the city and I'll say, hey, you know what, I've done this. I worked for the city. I've worked backhoe loaders, dump trucks. I know how to really do it all. The city's a good place because you get all the experience you can, get to meet new people. You learn your way around the city that you thought you knew, but you even learn back roads that you didn't even know existed. You get to just do anything you really can, and you just learn a lot of stuff from these people. My name is Richard Martinez. I'm a light equipment operator. I worked for Street and Bridge for 1.5 years.
Welcome back to the city. We are now joined by our Parks and Recreation Director, Carl White. Carl, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things I invited you on the show to talk about was the much anticipated, highly awaited dog park. We finally have some progress with that. Talk a little bit about what's going on and what's the anticipated timeline for getting a dog park in San Angelo.
We've had a dog park on the horizon for a good number of years. There's been some public interest in it, and it actually showed up very high in our recent Parks and Recreation Open Space Master Plan in 2012. It showed up as the number 2 item of all the facilities that the public said they really want to see in their park system. So with that, we kind of try to get some more interest. We try to find an organization that would kind of take that piece and lead it. And we have a Girl Scout, Megan Algier, who approached us. And at that point, there seemed to be a lot of interest. And so we took that item to City Council. The Council gave us authorization to move forward. They charged us with raising the funds to develop the park. And our fundraising goal is $75,000. And since that time, we've made some significant progress in fundraising. So we hope to tie that project in with the development of the Red Arroyo Trail project, which should begin construction this year. And I think the dog park should follow sometime about that same time.
So where would the dog park be, and what would be some of the features that it would have?
We're looking at a couple of options, but they're all located near the Red Arroyo and College Hills Boulevard. A couple of options on the west side of the College Hills Boulevard, and one option on the east side of College Hills Boulevard. But there's a total of about 3 acres. The advantage of having it on the west side is that we could easily tie it in with parking that's going to be constructed as part of the trail project. That way we wouldn't have to have that expense of building another parking lot. So it really makes sense to tie it in with the Red Arroyo Trail.
And talk about a little bit about what would be involved with the dog park as far as the things that the dogs and their owners would do there.
Well, dog parks are fairly simple. You really just have to have parking, a fenced-in area, and there would be a fenced-in area for large dogs and a fenced-in area for smaller dogs. But you also want to try to have some shade for the folks when they come to visit, whether it be trees or like a shaded structure. You also like to have benches, drinking fountains, both for adults and for dogs, and maybe some security lighting, some signage, but there's really not much more other than that you'd really have to have.
Why do you think there's been such a fervor for a dog park here? I mean, it really lights up our Facebook page whenever we talk about a dog park there.
I think there's a number of reasons, and some people may think it may be odd to have a dog park in San Angelo. We're surrounded by thousands of acres of open space. Of course, the public doesn't own all that space. So the other reason is that it really becomes a standard practice for cities to offer a dog park as a facility to the public, especially cities our size. For instance, our primary benchmark city, Abilene, has had a dog park for almost 3 years now. And so it's very common for cities our size to have a dog park. There's several in Austin, there's several in San Antonio, so people, especially who've moved from other cities to here, to San Angelo, they one of the first things they ask is, where's the dog park? Well, we don't have one yet, but it's coming.
And the dogs actually like to socialize with other dogs too, right?
Right. Some people think, why would you build a dog park? Because we need to work on the parks that we have. But it's good for socialization for the dogs. But really, a selling factor for me is it helps for socializations for the people. It brings people together, creates friendships, and helps build the spirit of a community.
You mentioned a little earlier that it will be located near the Red Arroyo Trail. Talk a little bit about what's going on with that project and when we can expect something to come to fruition with that.
That project has been a long time in the making as well. It's been at least 10 years since we've tried to get the funding for that project. Essentially, it's a trail that goes along the Red Arroyo from Sherwood Way to Knickerbocker and back up one of the forks of the Red Arroyo. we've tried to get grants for that project, and we've finally succeeded in getting a state grant about 3 years ago. And the grant is fairly substantial. It's $3.2 million. So it's really kind of hard to turn that down to build something that really would be a significant asset for the city. So the city matched that $3.2 million for a total of $4 million project. That right now that project has been substantially designed. We're working with TxDOT on it. So we hope to bid that project out this year and start construction next year. And the construction would take a little bit under a year. Basically what it has is a very wide pathway that connects the Red Arroyo. It has some parking areas. There's going to be a restroom facility that's added that'll tie into Unidad Park. And then there'll be some trailhead connections and some signage. It's really not much more than that.
And it'll be for walkers, bikers, runners, dog walkers?
It'll be multi-use. The only thing you can't use on it would be a motorized vehicle.
One of the most successful projects that your department, the Parks and Recreation Department, has been involved in recent memory has got to be the improvements along the Concho River. And yet we're still not really done with that project, and there's still plans for doing even more along the Concho River. Talk about what's happening there.
Well, there's so much more we could do with the river. There's more banks that we need to stabilize. Short term, one of the things we're going to add, the folks will be able to see new benches and tables that'll be added along the river, as well as some additional trash cans. But the big project that we're doing right now is working towards the final development of the Bosque area. The lower half of the Bosque area has been developed, which has the washer pitching courts, the bocce ball court, and the chessboard. Also has access to the river and some restrooms there. But we talked to council a few meetings ago about utilizing some of the rest of the money from half-cent sales tax to develop the rest of the Bosque area. Right now there's a sewer line that's going in the back of that property, so we can't develop it until that sewer line project's been done. But that area, what we've envisioned, and council has conceptually bought off on it, is to include a concession building where a concessionaire could sell drinks and food, and also rent out things for the Bosque area. The Bosque would also include a putt-putt golf course area, some unique playthings for kids, and maybe even a carousel. Also be a place where you could check out paddle boats and ride paddle boats on that section of the river between Irving Street and Celebration Bridge. So it would really just kind of be a nod to the old Neff's Amusement Park. It would be a place where folks can take their family down to recreate, to participate in lots of different activities.
And I know one of the ideas that you really like is the possibility of having some food carts there along the river, a la Austin.
Yes. Anybody who's been to Austin has hopefully seen the food carts, and they're really unique and really popular with the public. So we talked about doing that about a year and a half ago, and there really seemed to be a lot of interest. And that was one of the things also. We would provide a space that would be a central part of that Bosque area where the food carts and trucks could come in, maybe about 5 to 6 at the most, and different unique eateries that folks could enjoy when they're down there recreating.
And I want to give you a chance to plug our second annual Riverfest, which will be occurring September 19th and 20th. Talk a little bit about what you're going to be offering during this year's Riverfest.
This year's Riverfest will be similar to what we had last year, but we're going to tighten up the area of where all the activities are, so folks won't have to walk as much to get to the different activities. But it'll kick off with a concert Friday night. We'll tie in the Lily Fest this year. Now this year, like you said, it's September 19th and 20th. There'll be a golf tournament. There'll be a Rock the Paint run, which is similar to the color run we had last year, but it'll be addition of music stations along the way. So as folks run, they'll be able to hear music and also get tagged with color. There'll be similar activities that we had last year. We'll have a large kids court area where we'll have inflatables, pony rides, petting zoo. We're going to add arts and crafts vendors. We'll have a cook-off, a chili cook-off. We'll have a car show, and tie in some activities with the art museum. And we'll finish up with a concert Saturday night. But we're also looking at having a glow walk along the Concho where folks can show up and wear glow sticks or glow bracelets or even glow costumes and walk around the Concho River.
And you'll be able to find more information about this once we get a little closer at costatx.us/Riverfest. Now, one of the things, another effort that your department has been involved in is you've been renovating essentially a park a year for the last couple of years. And your next project is sort of a unique partnership with the SAISD, the local school district. Talk a little bit about what that's going to be.
I guess it's unique for us. I don't think it's too unique because many cities work very closely with their school districts. But this will be a first project that I know of in San Angelo where the city is basically gone into agreement to take some property owned by the school district to create a park, a neighborhood park. So this park, we're working on the design this summer. We hope to begin that project this year. It'll take about a year, but it'll include a walking trail around the park. It's next to Bradford Elementary School. It'll have some unique playground equipment that you wouldn't find on the schoolyard. There's also a concrete slab that we're going to propose to the public to add different games that are there, like Gag-a-ball and some foursquare, or maybe even a pickleball court. And I think that's pretty much it.
Now, after you're done with the Bradford Park project, then what's your lineup, what's your progression of parks after that? Which parks will you be renovating in the near future?
The one after that, and we've got funding for with half cent sales tax, is Brentwood Park, followed by Brown Park, and then Santa Rita Park. And then we're at the end of our half cent sales tax for parks renovations, and we still need to continue renovations after that.
When you talk about you still need to continue renovations, whenever you renovate a park, you really see a lot of boost in activity in those parks, in those particular neighborhoods, don't you?
Yes, a significant one. And a case for that is Meadow Creek Park, where it was essentially a dead park. We came in and fully renovated it, and that park is full of life now. People are very happy to see the renovations at that park.
Is there now a template for those park renovations, or do you try to tailor the park and its renovations to the needs and wants of that specific neighborhood?
I think there's a reason or case to make for templates, different situations, but when we do our park renovations, we really custom make them to the property, to the budget we have, and more importantly, to what the public, the neighborhood says that they want. So when we start those renovations, we have at least 2, oftentimes more meetings with the neighborhood to say, this is what we're thinking about, and give us your feedback, and then we develop the park based on the input that we get.
And you can find out more about our Parks and Recreation system on our website at cosatx.us/parks. We hope you'll join us for the next episode of The City.